Something just barked. What barks in the Pyrenees? Hello? Bunch of smashed glass. Hello, welcome to a little video. Little video is about my little adventure into the Pyrenees. This trip, all in all, was a bit of a last minute decision. I was due to go to Andorra, however the weather came in pretty bad. But on the positive side, the Pyrenees are massive, and the weather didn't make it to the east quite yet. So I decided that the last minute decision was to bugger off to the east, find a different hike, which was the hike that I went on, essentially. Well, the famous hike is the Travessa del Tres Refugies, which is 5-6 days adventure. You stay in 3-man huts, hot food, Wi-Fi, good times, in the summer, and it's a moderate hike. Fortunately, because it was awesome, I could not stay in the man refugees because they weren't open, because it's a summer thing. So I had to find a refugee, which kind of became the main character of this little video, to sleep in. And I found it on Google Maps a few days prior and thought, that is awesome, get me in that. So which I did. However, this refuge was 13 miles up and down the mountains to get there on the first day, which I thought was doable, if you're prepared, which I was. After that, I thought it was going to be a couple-day adventure, but the second day was so taxing. The snow was deep, and my feet were absolutely knackered by the end of it. So I was going to stay in Val d'Anudia the following day, however, turns out those refugees were shut. So I just ended up walking back to the car. But all in all, 2-day adventure, absolutely awesome. I'll show you the route that you should possibly take if you want to do this, if you want to stay in the man refugees, and the route that I took, a bit more exciting. And took me 2 days, but yeah, grab a beer, enjoy the video. Definitely the worst part about the trip so far is I think my Carmex is frozen. Come on. Got about 14 kilometers to go until I reach the refuge that I want to stay in. However, there is refugees on the way that I can stay in anyway. It all depends how fast I can make it. Only 7 kilometers in. The track is pretty awesome. The terrain's good fun. in the snow quite a lot now. It's not snowed, I don't think, in a few days, but when it did, it's all frosted over. We're nearly somewhere. Definitely nearly somewhere. 12 more kilometers before I can hit my refuge that I want to stay in. So we'll see. But so far so good. But yeah, how cool, hey? Oh, God, it's freezing now. The temperature's changed. Now that we're in a valley. Well, we're going down into this little valley here. There's a refuge just here, to be fair. So I might have a quick break in there. First refuge I've come to is just down there. There's no real plan to stay in that one, to be honest. But it's still pretty cool. Surrounded by mountains, which is so nice. Such a nice change just to hear the river. The refugee I just showed you was literally just behind us, and now we're going into this valley here, all the way through over along the other side and into France, which is exciting. It's just turned 12 o'clock and the sun has finally hit my back. Whew. I can see in the distance a bunch of those little geezers with the antlers absolutely sprinting. The first thing that I think is, I wonder what they're running from. This is just epic. Hiking one of the most beautiful valleys in Spain, completely alone. It's absolutely awesome. I don't think I've got that far to go height-wise now, elevation. I just gotta get over this valley, and then I think it plain sails and then goes down. I've got about 7 kilometers left. Having a whale of a time. No, it's super cool. Just peace and quiet. I think I'm about to experience a little bit of cold. The first bit of fog's coming in through the valley, and just a second ago I could see the top of this mountain here, where I'm going, obviously, and now I can't. So impressive how it can just change. The first bit of water was the water that's feeling the cold outside, and then the second bit was my sweaty back. Honking out of that valley and entering a new one. I'm nearly 15 kilometers in, so it's going good. I think I'm making some decent progress now. The last 2 miles were just up. And this bit is a little bit up. Bit tired now. Ready for a fire. Get the final 4 kilometers, I think, until I find the refugee that I ideally want to stay in. Pretty much going over a ski resort now. I've seen a geezer up there, first guy I've seen all day. It was pretty cold up there. My hands got cold pretty quick. Had to stop and put my hands in my armpits for a few minutes before I carried on, which helped. Exciting though. I'm on my final ascent of the day. I think I still got another mile, but I just had a chocky bar and a breather, and I got a little bit of second wind, so hopefully we get there soon. I definitely just wasted like a heap of time going down to the ski slope, but I'm gonna pretend I enjoyed it. The weather is certainly more brutal on this side of the valley. I thought I was gonna be in for like a cozy night, but it's yeah. And now I'm gonna go down. Oh man, there better be no one in that cabin. Or if there is, there better be a fire on with some like lasagna cooking. I keep lying and saying like, oh, final few miles, but I actually think this is the final few miles. And it's all downhill, which is lovely. But yeah, it's windy. The temperature's dropped big time. I mean, up there it's freezing, but especially down here, I think because the sun's gone away, it's, yeah, nippy on jitty. Anyway, should be at the cabin soon. I'm going to predict an hour, so we'll see. The sun's starting to set, so the sky looks gorgeous. I've just kind of been following, there's like little rocks everywhere to help you find a way, but there's a little geezer that loves this path. Just running geezers with his horns. But there's another little guy with his little paws that are cute. It's been following this path as well, so he's been going up, to be fair. And equally, if he eats me tonight, he's not cute, but something just barked. What barks in the Pyrenees? Okay, I found the cabin. And it looks sketchy as hell.
also pretty awesome. Hello? No one's home. Seems that it shuts from the outside then. Hello? Fantastic. Okay. I need my torch. One sec. Holy shit. This is the spookiest thing ever. However, God, it's got an oven. Hello? Bunch of smashed glass. But it's like fully equipped, huh? Fantastic. Well, if I survive, fantastic. Anyway, let's get a fire going. We're gonna have a mooch with some firewood. And have a little tour of the gaff. Seems weird. Old stove. Random shit. Very random shit. Do we need that? Could definitely do with only maybe some more firewood, but not the end of the world if not. We finally made it to the refuge. 1,800 meters incline, nearly 10 hours, 4,000 calories, but to be fair I was eating lots of sweets. Nuts. And we're in France. Boomskis. could be a high chance that this is gross, but this is hot chocolate. It's not very chocolatey. It's more Rice Krispies than chocolate, so I really don't know how it's going to turn out. Fantastic. It smells hot chocolatey. Just gotta stir it. Maybe that's the secret. No idea. See if it's nice. It's not the worst. It's hot. It's definitely hot. Oh yeah, yeah. This actually looks pretty good. And then you close it. Oh, the ominous do its job. Put it in this little geyser so it stays warm. And you can also warm your hands up at the same time. Look at that. Awesome. Now let's try this little guy again. So I'm going to try and turn the torch so it's on me. Yeah, so it's on there. Squid! And then on the other side, Megs. I miss you guys. Lots and lots. Spaghetti bolognese. I actually haven't had spaghetti bolognese since I moved to Spain. So this should be quite yummy regardless. It looks questionable, however. There's poopsies all over the place. Well, okay, there. If I was a rat, I'd live here. I'm a human and I'm here right now, so. Pretty cool. Let's see if I know any Spanish. I thought that was English. Never mind. Oh, super sexy. There's a little mouse that is chilling up here. As long as they don't pester me, I think I'll be alright. But I just figured the best thing for insulation will be middle. And also there's a window that's open up here that I think will just flow cold air into me all night. But I think I've got insulation on the top and then insulation on the bottom. So fingers crossed. Everything will be good. Just up the fire up. Time is at 8:30. Probably sit in bed and play my phone. Chill out a bit. Yeah. go. Ugh. Ugh. I survived. Oh, is that drinking water? Fantastic. Exactly what I've come for. Look at this, eh? Fantastic. Whew. Something tells me this is going to be absolutely freezing. Oh, it tastes like smoke. I'll just shoot right in. Throw this little badger up a bit. That'll do, donkey. Check that badger. I think I do have a fork somewhere, so I won't have to use my spaghetti bolognese spoon. Use it upside down for now, so it doesn't taste like mince pasta. Give it a good scrub. These are unreal, by the way. The breakfast ones are phenomenal. And then chuck that in there to keep it nice and warm. It is brekkie time. Oh. This is exactly what you need before you hike. Unlike yesterday, when I had no breakfast and survived off sweeties for 13 miles. Stupid. Pretty good. Well, for the situation, it's pretty good. Well, that is my sleep stay over with in this little gap. I better shut the door though. That is a fantastic place to stay the night. And now I have 13.5 miles to get back to the car, but I might stay in another refuge. Got heaps of supplies, as you can tell, right? I am
out of here. It's so easy to get lost without a map or the smallest sense of direction because, well, especially in the snow, there's obviously rocks painted with the little lines or trees like so. But yeah, you just follow animal tracks, kind of think that's what to do, but it's pretty easy. So I made it to the valley that I've now got to head up for the rest of the day essentially. The weather doesn't look too fab, but worst case, we just jump in that thing, or there's a little cave and return. So yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. Should be good. I think I've already done a kilometre by just walking down, but now it's all up for I think 4 or 5 miles. And then we go down, and then we're at possibly another refuge. It's cold today, and the terrain. I've not got that much elevation to do in comparison to yesterday, however, it is just snowy. Got gaiters on today. Every step is just, you're stepping into the unknown, literally, and it takes forever. But I just got out of a pretty boring tree line. It was beginning to annoy me, but it's got into a bit of a clearance here. This valley is where I'm heading. Looks quite far. I'm just taking 10 minutes. It's taxing. It's a hell of a lot more taxing than yesterday. Very, very tired. But this is beautiful, so what's this? Oh, little gaff. Hello. Let's have a mooch inside. It's just a little den. Just a small refuge. Cool beans. Well, I'm going to take 10. I made it to, I think, the final lake. If it's a lake. It is completely frozen over. I've got this mountain behind me that I got to get up now. The first bit looks a bit tough, but and then I think after that it actually looks quite easy. There's not a real peak that I'm going up, I don't think. It should just be relatively simple the whole way now. He says, I've got to get up the bugger first.
All in all, that pretty bonkers. I can see the Val di Nudia now, the hotel, so I'm absolutely exhausted. Similar feeling in my stomach to when I did the 50 miles race. But it's all downhill now, which is fantabby-dozy. But I just might hope to get to the hotel by sunset and then hike down to the car, get toasty warm, possibly just a 2-day trip. Woo-wee! Stop that. I made it down to Nudia, eating some sweeties. Awesome sunset, but I think I got like 3 miles still to go. Every time I see a sign it says that Corrals is further and further away.
That has got to be the worst ending to a video you've probably ever seen. However, I was absolutely drained and thought, oof, I'm giving up. I had 3 more hours of hiking down the valley. It was getting dark. The path was super icy. I was super tired. All I wanted to do was just get to the car. So I figured I'd pop the camera in my bag and hike on down. So all in all, that day was super duper tiring. I didn't do a lot of videoing. I did probably more photos and bits and bobs on my phone, which you can add into the end of this video, just some funny videos and some cool pictures that I took. But that is pretty much it. 2 days, back to the car, Yasta pasta. The snow did have the snow. As I was walking down, the snow came down pretty bad. The car was covered in snow. I actually returned in fantastic time to get away and get out of that village. If I would have stayed longer, then obviously I might not have been able to move the car. So it all worked out pretty good. So cheers for watching. It's probably just me sniffing and saying the whole video, but I'm glad you watched it. And I am currently planning the next adventure, so maybe see you then. Bye.